Hey everyone, Nathaniel Gabronsky here, and I am back in Des Moines, Iowa. This is the state capitol building for the state of Iowa, and I'm back here for a few days on my legislative tour across the country, and I really miss this place. This place feels like home. Um, I know I spent a lot of time in state capitals across the country throughout my life, and this one in New York have a special place in my heart. But it's so good to be back in Iowa and interacting with everyone here in Des Moines. For this is most of the state legislators that are friends with me. It is so good to see and talk to each and every single one of you. I miss you all. Republican, Democrat, I don't really care. I love you all as family. You guys, I am always happy to see each and every single one of you, even if we don't agree on something. And I agree with Democrats on things. I disagree with Republicans on things. I disagree with Democrats and I agree with Republicans on things. So I mean, it's a mixed bag because that's how people are. We're individuals, but I'm so happy to interact and see everyone here at the great state capitol here in Des Moines. This has been a great honor to be able to interact with all you guys as I travel all over the country to get legislation through that helps people with disabilities, helps people, fix incomes, helps protect people from being mutilated and sold off in human trafficking, helps, you know, people here who want to come here to make a better life for themselves and to raise a family in a safe environment. We're working on being always doing that too. We're doing a lot of great things, and Iowa's a huge part of that. I don't know for the people who aren't Iowa state legislators. Do you understand how many states copy Iowa? Like so, the states I work in that copy Iowa: South Dakota, Nebraska, Indiana, Ohio. There's even some things that Pennsylvania tries to copy from Iowa. The Carolinas follow Iowa pretty closely. States of Texas, which they meet every 2 years. Same as North Dakota meet every 2 years. They kind of monitor how things are done in Iowa to see, they've already done it. It works. Let's just borrow that. States like Kansas, Missouri, a lot of them copy it. The California Constitution is mimicked very closely to the state of Constitution of Iowa. But Iowa is a very important place for discussing different topics, different ideas, and wants and needs for a population. And I think it's really cool for those of you that don't realize this how centric Iowa is to how the nation goes. And I think that's really cool to say that about this great state. I hope if you haven't been up here and checked it out, please go up to the state capitol. Meet your legislator. Do it peacefully. You don't have to like everything they say, but hang out with them. They love to see you. They like their constituents. That's why they do this job. So very few people come up here because they want to be important. They want to serve their community. That's what they care about. That's why they're here. So they're willing to meet with you. In fact, we actually have a couple of like the best state legislators in the entire country. Like, for example, Eddie Andrews, one of the most beloved state legislators in the entire country. Amy Sinclair, one of the most beloved state legislators. She's actually very, very held in great esteem. People who know of Amy Sinclair, they might not know, but they know who she is in different states. She's held in very high esteem and with a great, great sense of admiration. We have Jason Schultz, which, man, this guy writes some amazing legislation. He claims he has someone else write it for him, but I read his bills and I read other people's bills. I kind of think he has more of an input than what he gives people credit for. David Young, for example. David Young, he's on the House side. He was a member of Congress for a while. Probably the most ideological person to be in a state legislature. That when they wrote the Constitution, they kind of had David Young in mind. He is exactly what we want in a public servant and legislator. There's so many people, I'm going to name them all. But like Jane Bloomingdale, she's actually one of the most immortal people in state legislatures. She probably is one of the most district-centric people in the states I've worked in. Man, she knows her district really, really well. So I really, really appreciate and love talking with Jane Bloomingdale. We have some really, really great legislators on the House and the Senate side. There's no way I can name them all, but some of them, and also like Jennifer Confirst, she's the minority leader, here in the House. Probably one of the most respectful, polite, kind people you're ever going to meet. She's also in academia. I believe she's at Drake as an instructor. Very, very kind. Ross Wilburn, also a guy I think is really cool. He was actually the mayor of Iowa City, Iowa, when I lived there, and he had his really cool commercials. I remember Ross Wilburn. He was a really cool guy. Mark Costello in the Senate. Let's see here. There's so many people. I'll never get through them all. But there's a lot of really cool people here in Iowa, and I hope everyone gets a chance to come up here and meet your person. Janet Peterson on the Senate side is a really kind person. She actually hasn't aged since high school. I've seen a picture of Janet Peterson when she was in high school, and seeing her now, she hasn't aged. She's the same person. I don't know what water she drinks, but she hasn't aged a freaking day. Um, but I digress. The state of Iowa is an amazing place. You have an amazing legislature that's working on behalf of all of you. You might not agree with everything they have to say as an individual, but they are responsive to what people in this state have asked them to do. And that's more than what other states get, quite frankly. Some states just well, we're here, we're in charge, we're going to kind of do what we want to do. And everyone else in the state's like, but we don't want you to do, we want you to do these things. We don't want you to do these things. Well, we want to do these things instead. We'll do those things maybe later. And then everyone stays miserable because they elected the wrong people. But Iowa, tell you what, man, Iowa is a special place. It's a field of opportunities. It's a place where you can be what you want to be as far as, trying to be a good person. It's not overly regulated. It's, you can raise a family here. You can do all kinds of things. You can't take your rights and trample on other people's rights. You can't push your agenda on everyone else's, because there are protections of that. But Iowa is just like where to be, and I'm greatly appreciated for all that. Also, like Brian Meyer, dude, you're awesome. I was like seeing him. I never passed a chance to see Brian Meyer. But yeah, everyone in Iowa, such a great vibe to be back. I wish everyone well. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and as always, stay wise, Iowa.